Mr. R wanted us to learn, and we, Isy, Vic, and Winter Callan from his 7th period astronomy class have learned to an A level the following concepts from Cosmos 1 through 3. This is not an inclusive list, but my selection of concepts from each episode that I will remember.
In episode 1, Standing Up in the Milky Way, I learned that the universe is about 13.5 billion. The universe is about 13.5 billion years old before humans showed up. We covered what Earth's cosmic address is, like where we are in the universe and the multiverse. All of the time in the universe was divided up into a calendar, and it explained how humans have only existed in the last few minutes of the last day of the calendar, which is pretty crazy to think about. It also explains how, the universe itself that we're in might be one universe out of a whole multiverse. In episode 2, I learned that Titan, Saturn's moon, has an atmosphere of mostly carbon dioxide that is 4 times as dense as Earth's. The episode mostly covered DNA, and some of its properties that make evolution possible. It explained how all creatures share some DNA because we've all evolved from a common ancestor. And it also talked about how there was 5 mass extinctions on Earth since life began, the largest being the Permian extinction. And it also talked a lot about Saturn's moon Titan and its oceans of methane. In episode 3, I learned that Captain James Cook used Halley's methods to determine that the Earth is 93 million miles from the Sun. The episode 3 mostly covered the types of achievements that a lot of scientists made in the 17th century and when knowledge conquered fear. Scientists such as Edmund Halley and Isaac Newton pioneered techniques that allowed us to explore the cosmos and get a better understanding for them. And we also learned what comets actually are, so they didn't have to be an omen of doom anymore. And we also learned that stars move.
Yeah. And what I learned from episode 1 is that the stars and the galaxies in our own solar system, as well as where we place on the cosmic calendar, well, that's what we learned. And the fact that I will take away from this episode is that the solar system is on the very edge of the Milky Way. In episode 2, we learned about the molecules and their role in the evolution of life on Earth, as well as the history of all the great extinctions and the species that pulled through them. The fact that I will take away from this episode is that a mutation in the genes of one single creature can cause an evolution in an entire species. In episode 3, we learned about the history of astronomy and how we unveiled the truth about the night sky and about our solar system, as well as the journey of the scientists that discovered it. The fact that I will take away from this episode is that Edmund Halley never did actually discover a comet. And that's what we learned from the 3 Cosmos episodes we've seen so far. I've thoroughly enjoyed this class, and I can't wait to learn more.
All right.